I got a sense during the Greek bailout and during some of the wrangling that was going on, in the American press, this huge sense of hysteria and crisis that I didn't necessarily feel on the ground. I thought that, governments and people were struggling with real issues, and there was a certain level of fear. But in the American press, I would read about the potential collapse of the euro, people leaving the European Union, that countries would pull out, and I would check the currency rate because I was getting excited because I get paid in dollars, and I would see the euro trading higher than it was 3 years ago or 4 years ago. That it's sort of in the middle range of its variation. As you guys are reporters, when you guys were trying to frame this story, how tough was it for you guys to try to blend what's actually going on, people's actual reaction, versus what perhaps your editors or other people were expecting you to put out there?
That's great. I mean, that's really great. Because we went over there and we thought that too. Like, we thought, oh, the euro might break up. There might be this breakup of the euro. And nobody in Germany felt that way. Not a single person. That's not how the German press was covering it at all. Like, the euro project is it is practically 100 years old. Like, that ship has sailed. Like, this euro project is not going away, and that was hard to convey to our editors. And I think that's why we got so attracted to these history stories. We tried to show what a long project this has been. Like, this is, I think to Americans, certainly to me, the euro is 10 years old. And that's not true in Europe at all. The euro is at least as old as like 1989, and it's way older than that. It's been going on forever. So that was a struggle, but at the same time, like, your editor is always very happy when you have a surprise. You're like, this is not the story that you would expect. That's what your editor wants to hear, so they'll go with that.
It is, like you mentioned, though, a delicate balance between trying not to say, oh, there's mass hysteria, people are running around the streets. We've talked for a while about, oh, we should do a story about how everyone's pulling their money out of the banks because they're afraid the euro's going to collapse.
To do that story.
And then we call people and they're like, yeah, that's not happening.
Right.
Oh, okay, well, we won't do that story then. But at the same time, you do have to, you do have to talk about the implications of things really going wrong. So you do have to discuss the possibility, as remote as it is, of these really scary things happening to get people to understand why they should care. Because eventually how it's going to come down and affect Americans is only really if everything falls apart. So you have to talk about those possibilities. I think you have to be really careful, like you said, to frame it as, this is a remote possibility. It probably won't happen, but this is one of the things people are afraid about, and this is why there's so much fear regarding this crisis.